Welcome, friends. I'm Yvonne Davis, your traveling warrior astrologer. And today I'm doing a video titled Astrological Power Predictions. And we're going to look at the Capricorn stellium. So as I'm pulling up that chart, if you have not yet subscribed, please do subscribe to my channel. And please click like on this video, share with friends and family and on social media, and leave your comments below so we can grow this channel and grow this community. All right, so I'm going to be talking about the Capricorn stellium, and I'm starting with the morning of January 24th, but actually there is an important thing I want you to understand about the morning of January 23rd, which is Sunday, because Mercury on the morning of January 23rd will be cazimi with the sun. What that means is Mercury, when it's turning retrograde, which it is now in Aquarius, will come into a conjunction with the sun in Aquarius. That's called cazimi, okay? And apparently, I have been watching this for a while now. I don't always find it to be true, but I do think it's important enough to pay attention to just in case, okay? So what happens when Mercury and the sun are cazimi is it's like there's this portal that opens up for a download of information. And so you might have some kind of really important awareness, especially when it's cazimi in its retrograde phase, okay? Because Mercury is already taking us into our subconscious, into things hidden, and helping us to look backward and reconsider, revise, kind of plan our lives, find a new path that will take us in the direction we want to go. That's what the Mercury retrograde does. It helps us to reconsider and rethink and revise things. So if there was something that you had either done previously and maybe you were planning it, you were working on it, you were committed to it, and then at the time, well, now, because Venus is retrograde and now Mercury is retrograde, two of the inner planets, and they're both crossing over Pluto 3 times, it may be that there was some really important life revision, okay? So whether or not you knew that before, like maybe had an inkling that this was going to change, and now you're actually going through the process of changing, or maybe some new knowledge came up at this time that has caused you to want to reconsider something and revise something, rework something, and change the direction that you're moving in, okay? But either way, these two retrogrades are definitely causing people to rethink the direction that they're moving in, and to kind of course correct, okay, in some way, shape, or form. Maybe it's because you realize something about your own personality that you want to change, or maybe there's something external that just doesn't feel like it's quite the right fit anymore. And so you're doing this course correction. So when we get that Mercury retrograde cazimi, that conjunction with the sun in Aquarius on Sunday morning, what I would suggest is to try to remind yourself before you go to bed to really kind of set your subconscious to remember something or to answer a question that you need to answer. So for example, you can say to your higher power, is there anything I need to know right now? Or what's the best path for me to take right now? Or, what do I need to know in my life right now? Or how can I live my best life? Or, whatever way you want to structure that question, and then really set your subconscious to send you that answer, so that when you wake up early on Sunday morning, you can be thinking about it and you can write about it in your journal, especially since it's Sunday. A lot of you might have time off, and you can take that time to really self-connect and do some meditation, contemplation, journaling to really get clear on the direction you need to move in and what information do you really need to know. You can bring that up from your subconscious. Okay. So that's a perfect time to do that. If you're watching this video after the fact, I would say still make use of this Mercury retrograde, just because you didn't, maybe you might miss that Cazimi point, but it doesn't matter, because as long as Mercury is retrograding over Pluto, there's something important that really needs to come up to your awareness, because Pluto is the power planet, but it's also the planet of the shadow. And there's a reason why Pluto rules power and the shadow. It's because it's the integration of the shadow that is actually what empowers us ultimately. Okay. So that's why Pluto rules both of these things. So when Mercury is retrograde over Pluto, it will bring to your awareness, to your mind, some knowledge, thought, communication that will help you to understand ways that you can integrate your shadow and become a more powerful human being, okay, in your own life. So that's why, this is really about understanding power, okay, and understanding your shadow, your subconscious, bringing that information up to the conscious mind so that you can understand things, integrate that knowledge, and make a course correction that will take you in a direction that will help your life to become significantly more powerful and possibly bring wealth into your life as well, because Pluto also rules great wealth. And Pluto, when you think about wealth, like in our culture, we usually think of wealth as being financial or material wealth, but Spirit doesn't really think of wealth that way. Spirit thinks of wealth as anything of value. Okay. Power, influence, it could be things of material value, could be financial wealth, could also be relationships, like, relationships are kind of wealth, and knowledge can be wealth. So power and wealth, influence, all of these things go together. And basically what matters is that you are empowered internally, because if you're empowered internally, then you can manifest that power externally, such that you can live your authentic life, the life that you truly want to live. Okay. All right. So, so now moving past that Mercury, Sun, Cazimi, and Aquarius on the morning of Sunday, January 23rd, let's go ahead and move on to the Capricorn stellium. And the first planet that we will see move into Capricorn is Mars. You can see Mars here at 0 degrees of Capricorn, 0 minutes in the morning of Monday, January 24th. Okay. So that's the first thing. And then the very next day, on Tuesday, January 25th, Mercury will then enter Capricorn in its retrograde phase. We'll actually have 4 planets in Capricorn. Okay. That means that it's like that house is really loaded up. So I think I'll go ahead and bring that in for you. Here you can see the Capricorn stellium again when Mercury enters Capricorn. So you can see there are 4 planets in Capricorn. This indicates that there is a very heavy energetic focus on Capricorn. So what you want to do is find out where is Capricorn in your chart, okay? And see what kind of area it is influencing in your life. Is it relationships? Is it your supply houses, money houses? Is it, like the 12th or 8th house, which are deep psychological transformation? So if you know what house it's influencing, then you'll know where the energy is compacted. And then after you know what house it's in, then you want to look at what house is ruled by Mars. That would be Aries. What house is ruled by Venus? That would be both Taurus and Libra. But right now we actually have the North Node and Uranus in Taurus making trines to the planets in Capricorn. So you want to look at both of those houses, Capricorn and Taurus. Are they relationship houses? Are they supply houses? Supply houses are 2nd, 6, 8, and 10. That will help you to know, which kind of area of your life it's influencing. Then, like I said, look for the house ruled by Mars, which is Aries. And you can also look at Libra because Venus rules both Taurus and Libra. And Scorpio, which is ruled by Pluto. And then Gemini and Virgo, which are ruled by Mercury. So there's a lot going on here, basically. This could bring about some significant change in your life in terms of your relationships, the way you relate to other people. Maybe there's some kind of contract negotiation. Maybe you're moving. Maybe it has something to do with a massive career change or relocation, or something to do with your health that's causing you to significantly reconsider how you live in the world and how you take care of yourself. So when you know the houses that are influenced and you look at how all this energy is compacted into that area of your life, this is going to bring about some kind of major change. So you can also look at it from both your ascendant and from your sun sign, and then you can combine them. So for example, in my own chart, when I looked at this, I could see very clearly that both from the ascendant and the sun, it was probably going to be some kind of contractual relationship that would have an impact on my career. And so, and I can think of a number of different things that could be. So you may already know, where this is influencing your life. But just keep in mind that while Venus and Mercury are retrograde, you're still working through that process of trying to make that course correction, trying to reevaluate, reconsider what would be the best path for you to take in terms of any particular relationships that you may be in, or your career, or your finances, your housing, your health, any of those areas that are influenced. And think about the changes that you want to make. So you're still sorting through that with the retrogrades of Venus and Mercury. And when Mercury crosses over Pluto, it's already in a conjunction. It's just going to get more and more intense until it makes its exact conjunction to Pluto. And then it will cross over Pluto and station direct on February 3rd. And Venus stations direct on January 29th. So this whole process that we're moving toward right now, I'm making this video on January 22nd. So we have the Mercury cazimi on the 23rd, Mars moving into Capricorn on the 24th, and Mercury moving into Capricorn on the 25th. And then Venus stations direct on the 29th. Mercury conjoins Pluto, and Mercury stations direct on February 3rd. Once Mercury and Venus are direct, all the planets will be direct for 3 months through February, March, and April. So basically what that says is it's like you're building up energy, like you're winding it up, winding it up, winding it up, like a catapult. It's just winding and winding and winding and winding. The energy is building and building and building and building and building. And then when you wake up on February 4th and all the planets are direct and you've got all this energy in Capricorn, it's just going to be like, boom, you're ready to go. Okay. You've worked out the issues that needed to be worked out and you're ready to start moving forward. This is definitely the time to move forward. One other thing I'll mention is while that's all that's happening, the moon will also come in to Capricorn and make conjunctions to all four of these planets. So you basically have four cosmic bodies in Capricorn. I mean, this is the area where I would suggest wherever it is making an influence in your life, really, really look deeply at the area of your life. Okay. So if it's relationships, think about who you want in your life. Let go of the relationships that are not working, or find a way to make them work, but don't kid yourself. Okay. If they're not working, let them go. If you can make them work, do everything in your power to make them work. Or if you feel like it's time to move forward and make new relationships, then really, be outgoing and get to know people and form those bonds. Maybe those are people who you're karmically destined to know, because with that trine of Mercury and Pluto to the North Node in Taurus, there is something very karmic about what's happening at this time in our lives. Okay. And it's like it's setting the stage for that moment, everything from where we are now, January 22nd, all the way through to when we wake up on February 4th and all the planets are direct for 3 months. It's like it's setting it up. It's getting us ready. And as soon as the planets go direct, and even before that, really, if you know what you want, if you know what area of your life needs cleaning up, what you need to get rid of, what you need to let go of, what you need to stop, do it now with Mercury and Venus retrograde. Get it done. Okay. Withdraw from whatever you need to withdraw from. Eliminate whatever you need to eliminate. Say goodbye. Make that revision. Do that course correction. Do it now. Because I think you already know what that is at this point. It's just a matter of taking the steps you need to take to make it actually happen. So that on February 4th, when you wake up, you'll have 3 months of all the planets direct and you can just go full steam ahead. Okay. So think about those people you want to connect with. You really start making an effort. Think about, is there some contract you're looking forward to forming? And I wouldn't suggest actually signing it until at least February 4th, because you want to make sure you've got the planets moving direct. And if you can, make sure, even with Mercury just stationing direct, sometimes you want to give it a few days. So if you are actually signing a contract, I would suggest giving it a few days to make sure that, Mercury is really ready to go direct. Okay. And you've got the information that you need and you're ready to sign that contract and you've read it thoroughly. Or if it's, some kind of career change or educational program, health concern, relocation, signing a contract to move into a place, whatever it is, I think you're going to be ready to do it on February 4th, but still just take the time. If you're signing an actual contract or putting down actual money, make sure that, you've really read it thoroughly. You've given it a few days at least to go over it several times with a fine-tooth comb and make sure that this is exactly what you want and you're ready to sign the contract and you're ready to put down the money. Okay. And then once we're really going forward from February 4th on, we're going to have probably about a month with this energy still really building up in Capricorn, because first Mercury will conjoin Pluto again, and then that will be the first planet to move out of Capricorn. But then Mars and Venus will basically be conjunct, and they start out trine to Uranus, and then they move forward toward Pluto, and then they both conjoin Pluto, and then they move to the 29th degree, which is a critical degree. That means whatever you were meant to gain from the stellium in Capricorn, I would say it's like March 4th when Mars and Venus are conjunct in the 29th degree of Capricorn. That's a critical degree. So that month is basically all the planets moving direct from February 4th to March 4th in Capricorn. So you want to make sure that whatever you needed to do in that area of your life, you've really gone out and done it. Okay. You've contacted the people you needed to contact. You've signed the contracts you needed to sign. You've put the information out there you needed to put out there. You know, you've made the move, whatever it is. So if you don't know what it is that you want in your life, I would say start right now, figure it out. Okay. Because with this Mercury and Venus retrograde, that's what you're supposed to be doing, is looking very, very deeply. What's not working in your life? Find a way to extract yourself from that relationship or that situation that's not working. This is the time to do it. And then start course correcting and moving toward what it is that you actually want. So if you don't know what that is yet, you need to figure that out. This is the time to do that, because it's sort of like, you know, if you haven't figured that out hopefully by February 4th, but certainly if you haven't figured it out by March 4th, you have missed the boat. You've really missed the boat. I mean, seriously, like if you've ever had an experience like that where you missed a plane, or, I mean, sometimes a bus can be pretty, you know, really disrupting too if you miss a bus. But certainly if you've ever missed a plane or a boat that you were supposed to be on, and you know, you're standing there at the counter and you're watching it go away, either flying away or sailing away or driving away, you know what that feels like when you missed it. And it's just not, it's no fun. Okay. And these kinds of situations, when they come around, it's very rare. So even though the planets will a lot of times build up in a particular sign, like for example, Capricorn, a lot of times you'll see a buildup in the latter months of the year, or December, January, you know, that kind of time period when the planets are, because they tend to travel together. The Sun, Mercury, Venus, they tend to travel together. So sometimes you will see them build up in the sign of Capricorn around December and January. But this is particularly unusual because we've also got Pluto there and we've also got Mars there. And Mars takes 2 years to go around. So for Mars to be there as well, that makes it more unusual, more rare. And certainly Pluto obviously is going to be there all through 2022. But in March of 2023, Pluto will actually make its first transit into Aquarius. So I would say this year, but we're not going to have Mars this year because Mars takes 2 years to come around. So we're not going to have Mars next year. We have Mars this year, but we're not going to have Mars next year. So, you know, this is extremely rare. And there has been something forming with the Venus retrograde over Pluto and the Mercury retrograde over Pluto that was really meant to course correct, to create this course correction in your life. So you definitely do not want to miss out on this energy, because next year, although Pluto will still be there in December, January, February, and so you'll still get that build up in that stellium, but you won't have Mars there. So, and then that will be possibly the last year with Pluto in that Capricorn stellium. So whatever you are meant to gain from that Pluto transformation of that area of your life, you're running, in a sense, you're running out of time. Okay. You have absolutely got to use the energy from now all the way through to March 4th. Now there'll be more stuff coming after March 4th, but this is a kind of time frame here where you've got this buildup in Capricorn with the planets trining the North Node and Uranus and Taurus and sextiling Neptune and Jupiter in Pisces. So there's something extremely unique about these alignments in this time period that you don't want to miss out on. I'm going to be talking about this a lot as we move forward, because yeah, this is extremely powerful. You definitely don't want to miss out on it. So those are the astrological power predictions for you personally. If you don't know how to find the houses in your chart, you can always contact me for a reading. There's always a link in the description box below, or you can join my Patreon channel, where we meet every other Friday face-to-face on Zoom. And if you're a patron, you can join that and you can ask any questions you want to ask. Okay. All right. So I hope that was helpful. And I look forward to seeing you